guys, good to see you again. It's Naomi, and today I'm going to be basically rambling about one of my most favorite DC characters, I guess group of characters, and that would be Teen Titans. I recently finished all 4 of the Cami Garcia's Teen Titans. That'd be Teen Titans Raven, Beast Boy Loves Raven, and Robin. Number 5, which should be Starfire, should be coming out pretty soon. I'm very excited for it. So I love this art style that was used in these comic books volumes, and it just made me happy. I really like the older Teen Titans that was on Cartoon Network. That was one of my favorite things to watch. I like DC Comics already. I have read a few Batman, I read Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad, stuff like that. So the Teen Titans actually getting like a revamp and kind of like a different type of story makes me very excited. I even decided to wear my spooky shirt with a red lip because I feel like that'd be approved by Raven. I don't know, Raven is actually one of my favorite characters from the Teen Titans. She's really cool in my opinion. Anyways, I could just ramble about how much I love them, and that's kind of what I'm going to do. This is going to have some spoilers in them. I am going to be going all over all 4, so I'll try to keep it spoiler free-ish, but I might ramble on. Please watch at your own discretion. Rachel Roth wakes up, that's Raven. I don't know if you guys knew her actual identity. This is also what I like, is now I got to learn who they are besides like their hero names. Anyways, Rachel wakes up with amnesia from being in a car accident with her foster mom who was about to adopt her. What happens is they get in a car accident, Raven gets amnesia. Raven is now in Louisiana living with her foster aunt, who was her foster mom's sister, Natalia, and her cousin, Max. Rachel has been with this foster mom for a really long time, it seems, since she was a baby, so it's like basically her mom. We're just going to move forward with mom and aunt going forward. So she just starts a new school, she has amnesia, she's down in Louisiana, and there's this really cute guy that starts kind of talking to her and moving forward. Rachel's having some issues because she can't remember anything, so there's some frustration of like, does she actually like this type of stuff? Is she this kind of person? She doesn't know who she is, and that bothers her a lot. Max tries her best to be a supportive friend and cousin, which I really liked watching their relationship grow as well, and that really made for a nice connection to see, especially throughout the whole series. So the sweet guy is basically super shady, mostly because, I think he started at the same time Raven did and just woo, but they like start getting to know each other. There's a cute scene where he brings a lot of candy bars to Raven and they eat them in the gym because Rachel doesn't really know what her favorite candy is, so it's kind of frustrating, and so it's like a cute little moment, but we don't care about that. It's not my ship. Raven is starting to have these really weird dreams. I noticed that I am going back between Raven and Rachel. Sorry. She's having these really weird dreams, like there's this monster who's red and a demon and kind of like super scary, and then it's kind of like she's feeling other people's emotions and can hear other people's thoughts, and that's really weird, and she's just having all these like really strong emotions, but she has amnesia. We know, looking in, is that Rachel is an empath. She has telekinesis. She can hear other people's thoughts. She can influence emotions, stuff like that. The experience that she's getting right now is kind of hard for her, and Cami Garcia did such a good job of creating the drama that we follow, and also the stakes, and also how Rachel interacts with them. I really liked it. End of the story was great. It's a nice little battle. Rachel traps Trigon in the little diamond thing again, and it just was very fulfilling. Number 2 was Beast Boy. Beast Boy, aka Garfield, which I just think about Garfield and I think of the orange cat, not the boy. Like, there are 2 different sizes. Garfield, the cat, is very big. That's the humor. But Garfield, the kid, the Beast Boy, is a stick. I didn't know that his name was that. Anyways, they do call him Gar, and I didn't realize why, but it was Garfield. So I feel silly. Anyways, Gar is a normal teenage boy, if a little bit on the short side. His mom and dad are both eccentric scientists, and they love him very much. His mom's really adamant that he takes this supplement that's supposed to help him. Gar has a couple of good friends. He's not super popular. Again, he's kind of on his short, wimpy side. He's gone through his senior year. He's looking at his bucket list that he made himself, and he hasn't marked off anything. He hasn't gained the weight or the muscle mass that he wants. He hasn't grown any. Can't really change that. He hasn't like gotten a job and different things like that. But he does have a couple of good friends that help him along and make things a little more bearable. I also really liked through Beast Boy, they show like this, how much influencers can have an influence on people. Like there's this influencer that, or this guy that tries like different crazy stuff, like eating habaneros and pickled plums from Japan and different crazy stuff like that. And just how it influences the teenagers in Gar's high school. Gar, in defiance of his parents, stops taking the supplement and basically shoots up like a foot overnight in height and like puts on muscle mass and stuff like that because he's not taking this supplement. Well, and like some other things start getting kind of weird. Gar takes on this challenge of eating a habanero, and that for a plate of ribs because the influence did it, and for him to get clout and to get coolness points at high school, he does it. Well, everyone's like freaking out because they're like, you're going to poop your pants. You're like, it's going to end poorly. Anyways, Gar does it. What I always found funny is like, if he was to eat this habanero at the rib joint, he'd get a free like all you can eat rib meal. And it's like, you're a vegetarian. That does not matter. Anyways, he goes and he eats it. And like there's this weird thing that kind of happens. The heat of the habanero doesn't affect him. After that, Gar starts to really get into some mischiefs because now he's a little more popular with the cool crowd at school, and he's trying to maintain that coolness and do different things at school. He also notices that there's just some weird things going on in his body, just not like the normal puberty thing, but it's just a little different. Gar actually ends up giving himself the name Beast Boy, which I thought was kind of well done because that's definitely a Beast Boy thing to do. Anyways, he also starts changing into animals after a certain point, after a lot of stress or like a lot of things are happening. And that's kind of how we ended that one. So the next one is Beast Boy Loves Raven, and this is my favorite because it is my ship. Both Gar and Rachel received notes saying to meet this mysterious person in Nashville to, Rachel says to help get rid of Trigon and to control her powers. Garza says like, oh, come to Nashville and I'll help you learn how to control your powers and use them for good. They're both really curious about that, so they go. And in the comic, there is the difference between how Raven and Beast Boy have their experience in Nashville. I really liked it. Like, okay, so Rachel's was, whenever she got a hotel, it was relatively clean. Not super expensive it looked like, but it was clean. Gar's, on the other hand, was a little dingy and mystery stains. We'll leave it at that. That's what we got, which is okay, whatever. They both have their separate adventures throughout Nashville, and you get to see how they each interact with the city, what they found fascinating. They do end up like meeting for a day and they become like day friends, and it's really cute because you can kind of see like their chemistry happening throughout their day in their little adventure. While they both, Rachel is like, I can't really do this, like I gotta do stuff, and Gar's like, okay, yeah, no problem. They he leaves. Well, Rachel gets pickpocketed and she goes to this coffee shop and Gar's there and he's like, I'm not stalking you, I promise. And it's kind of funny. But unbeknownst to Rachel, which just kind of shows you how non-observant she kind of can be, Max is like, no, my cousin is not going to go meet this mystery man that just who said, hey, I can help you defeat your dad on a piece of notepad paper. So good job, Max. Don't let friends do stuff by themselves. Granted, it's unknowingly. Anyways, Gar and Rachel kind of like have a little bit of issues. Max is still trying to follow Raven, and we kind of get this glimpse of this kid in a cool red jacket, and I wonder who that could be. It's Damien, who is Robin in this series. Really cool. They go to this meeting spot. I think it's like a block or two away from each other, and they both get kidnapped. Max and Damien were both kind of watching the area where separately they didn't. Max and Damien don't know each other yet. Max and Damien are looking at this place and like they watch them both get kidnapped. So that sucks. What happens is Max and Damien team up and trying to go save Gar and Rachel. Really cool shenanigans. The last little end of it kind of like shows how cool Damien really is. And that's kind of like the main highlights. Is really gets into how Hive, because they go to meet Slade, they are using different techniques to make Gar transform into different animals and also then make Rachel use her powers. It's interesting to see. It was a form of torture, so it kind of got a little sad at points. While this is all happening, Damien and Max are trying to save them. They're going through the woods, stuff like that, and they end up saving them. Trigon is released from the stone, and so that's not great. They ended up escaping, and then it kind of closes with like them in the woods resting after finally escaping. All right, last one is Robin. Robin is Damian Wayne in this series, and Nightwing is Dick Grayson, which I really liked. I love that we have a new Robin and that Dick is now Nightwing. I think it works out really well. What I always find funny is Damian Wayne in the animated movies that I've seen. He's like super serious. He's also like maybe 10 years old, maybe. And he's super like cool and adultish and stuff, but really, he's not. He's still a kid, but he's raised by assassins. That's who Damian Wayne is. So Damian is on the run, but before he left, Dick Grayson, who is Nightwing, it put a tracker on Damian so he can go and find him. Damian doesn't want anything to do with Dick. Dick really wants to have a relationship with him as like a brother, as a family. And Damien's just like, no, thank you. I don't need a brother. Not for me. No. And Dick is like, no, like we're working together. We can be a family. We're brothers now. And it's interesting to see how frustrated Damian is with Dick because he's known Bruce Wayne for a long time. It's interesting because the dynamic that Damian and Bruce have isn't the best. But also, like, Damian is jealous of Dick and Bruce's relationship. I'm going to start saying Grayson. Grayson and Damian's relationship is pretty rough, to say the least. Damian's also super competitive. So once Grayson's actually able to find them, the kids, so that'd be Damien, Raven, Gar, Max, and then Grayson, and then Natalia, Max's mom and Raven's mom are all at a beach house, and they're kind of going through this training. We see this training montage. Through this, it kind of involves it's really a story of like basically Damien and Grayson becoming brothers, and I loved it. It was so good. Towards the end, we find that Slade was able to track them and he's coming to come get them and all that. We noticed that at the end there's this security footage of a couple of girls, one with orange hair and then one with like black hair, and it kind of like gets a little wild. So I'm really excited to meet Starfire and Blackfire. Anyways, guys, that was my rambling. If you stayed till the end, thanks. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Leave a comment because I want to know who your favorite Teen Titan is. Because I really hope we get to meet Cyborg. Really hope we get to meet Cyborg. All right, bye guys.